Understanding Institutional Racism, a deep dive. Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to explore a significant and sensitive topic, institutional racism. This concept is vital to understand as it shapes the experiences of millions around the world. Our goal is to break it down in a way that's accessible and enlightening for everyone, especially those learning English. Let's dive into what institutional racism is and why it's crucial for us to recognize and address it. Institutional racism refers to the policies, practices, and procedures that work to the benefit of certain races and to the disadvantage of others, particularly minority groups. It's not about individual acts of racism, but rather how society structures systematically place certain racial or ethnic groups at a disadvantage. This can be seen in various sectors, including education, employment, housing, healthcare, and the criminal justice system. Understanding this term helps us grasp how racism is not just a personal prejudice but embedded in the very fabric of our societies. To fully understand institutional racism, it's important to look at its historical roots. For instance, in the United States, laws such as Jim Crow laws enforced racial segregation long after slavery was abolished. Similar practices were evident in apartheid South Africa. These legal systems were clear examples of institutional racism because they legally enforced the separation and unequal treatment of races. Today, while such laws have been abolished, the legacies of these practices still impact racial and ethnic minorities in various ways, from socioeconomic disparities to access to quality education and healthcare. Identifying institutional racism in the present day involves looking at statistics and outcomes rather than explicit laws. For example, if a racial group is disproportionately affected by poverty, incarceration, or has limited access to quality healthcare and education, these disparities may be indicative of institutional racism. It's about understanding how policies and practices, even those that appear race-neutral, can have racially discriminatory effects. Combating institutional racism requires a concerted effort from all levels of society. It starts with awareness and education, acknowledging the existence and effects of institutional racism. From there, it involves advocating for policy changes, promoting diversity and inclusion in all sectors, and actively working to dismantle the structures and practices that perpetuate racial disparities. It's also about empowering affected communities to have a voice in the processes that impact their lives. Understanding and addressing institutional racism is a crucial step towards building a more equitable and just society. We hope this video has shed some light on what institutional racism is, how it manifests, and what we can do to fight it. Remember, change starts with awareness, and each of us has a role to play in making our world a better place for everyone. Thank you for watching, and let's continue to learn and grow together.